So this is the preliminary test. I just tested it to make sure that water didn't go crazy. So here's my logic. So I have the background. I siliconed in all of the substrate, which is a mix of the cocoa husk, crushed up bark, sphagnum moss, and some jungle soil mix. I have 2 pieces of wood to kind of replicate like roots coming out the ground, and this is kind of like a sub level, like near maybe like a stream or something. Still got to put some work into maybe potentially putting some plant pots to put some plants up on the wall. But here's a test for the water feature. So the water feature isn't in the tank. I wanted it separate to not have to worry about water getting into the substrate or overflowing the drainage layer. So I kind of like just created this whole system here with like a little plastic container. I have the piping coming out the back. So I have a filter, and I have that pipe that goes to a very small, just water pump, small little water pump from Amazon, going up. The exit point is right there, and this piece of wood was actually perfect. It kind of had this canal naturally, like almost like it was carved in for a water feature kind of piece of wood. So here, let me plug it in, and we're gonna see the water feature working in a second. There we go. So so these rocks aren't permanent. They're kind of just sitting there, but what I did was I completely I encased them in aquarium safe silicone. I was going to cover in substrate, but I didn't want the substrate that was siliconed onto it, like the background, to absorb the water and potentially cause a lot of water to evaporate quickly from this basin. You can see here I got like some river stones in there, kind of look natural. I need to fill it up a little bit more water because I do want, when the dart frogs are in there, to kind of be sitting in water whenever they need to kind of hydrate for whatever reason or enjoy being in there. Here the water's a little bit too turbulent for them to really just sit in it, because I do notice that in the small little tank that I have set up, this is a 12-12-18, and it's really cramped. I put 2 plants in this little water container, and it's really cramped, and it kind of feel bad that they don't have enough space to kind of hop around and do their thing. So here's the 18-18-36 with a water feature, and I'm just trying to think of everything before I start putting any of the substrate in. So if you look back here, this little tube. So this is like kind of a drain tube. So if for whatever reason the drainage layer fills up with too much water, I can just siphon that out. I'm also gonna have a water reservoir here that's gonna go out this tube for the fogging misting machine. Not the fogging machine, the mister. And the mister is gonna be connected to the top of the tank top, and then I'm gonna control that manually. It is a timed system, but I read something where if the system malfunctions, it'll just keep pumping water out of the misting nozzles and kind of overflow the tank, and I don't want that happening. So I'm going to be controlling the mister manually through the misting machine. But here is the water feature, and I think this came out really great. I really like how this came out. It seems to control the water flow. If you look, nothing kind of falls on the back. It doesn't feel like this is getting wet in the back there. So my idea is working. I may have to silicone a little bit. Like if you look right there, it falls out the bottom a little early. But I think this adds some layers to how the water falls out of there. So it's kind of like a mini waterfall water feature. And I think it was great. And I'm really happy how it came out. So I'm going to be updating soon. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.